to another DC Weekly Vlog. I am up before the sun getting ready because I'm going to do a sunrise photo shoot with my friend Jay at the Lincoln Memorial. She was really sweet. She's an amazing photographer and she wanted to do a like really iconic DC photo shoot for me as I have one more month living here in DC. I'm excited. I love hanging out with friends, taking photos, of course being by the monuments. So I think it's gonna be a really fun start to the week. I was up so early this morning that my face was so puffy, so I used a rose quartz face roller. I keep it in my fridge so it's super cold and it helps with puffiness. I've been drinking my coffee in here in my bathroom while I get ready, just like trying to beat the clock because of course I hit snooze like too many times and now I'm running late. I just finished up my photo shoot here at the Lincoln Memorial with my friend Jay, and it was really fun and really special, and I love starting my day seeing her. After our shoot, I decided I wanted to stay here at the memorial and just soak it in. It's 9 a.m. so no one's here. The weather is surprisingly beautiful, though I'm surprised more people aren't here. There are some people going on runs, but like I'm the only one here sitting on the steps, or I was sitting on the steps. And the weather's beautiful, the sun is shining, warming up the whole city. I thought I was gonna be cold in my trench coat and heels, but it's actually really nice. I wanted to just sit on the steps and reflect on my life in DC. So I was trying to like think of the perfect reflection question, and then I was frustrated because I wasn't coming up with a good enough answer. And then I was like, no, Elizabeth, just sit here and take it in. Take in this beautiful view. It's so rare to be sitting on the steps by yourself, especially when the weather is nice. And so I was like, just take it in while it's yours. And I know it will always be mine because it's a huge part of my story. It's a huge part of my transformation, but I just want to soak it in all of its beauty and meaning for history, and then meaning for me, and feel it while it's mine. I just said, I love you as I walked away from the Lincoln Memorial, and the thing is that I meant it with my whole heart, like wholeheartedly. I'm in love with this place. If you are thinking of moving here, I highly recommend. It is beautiful and magical and everything that you want it to be. I just got home. I put on comfier clothing, but I still wanted to look like cute. I've just felt so energized getting dressed, putting on jeans, putting on heels, and being out and about, and so I didn't want to lose that momentum. But you know, we've got a nice bodysuit, sweater, kept the jewelry and makeup and hair and everything. Now I'm gonna work on some breakfast. I am making my special eggs a la Ellie, and it's just eggs with cream cheese and green onions, but it's really, really good. My special egg recipe people have probably done before, but I made it up without looking at a recipe, so I'm claiming it. I stirred 3 eggs, made sure like oxygen got in there to fluff them up, added salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And then I put some butter in the pan, melted the butter in the pan, added the eggs, and I'm gonna let like the bottom harden and then I'll scramble them. And then I put some clumps of cream cheese on them, let the cream cheese melt a little bit while the eggs finish cooking. And then I have these green onions to put on top, and then I always put on everything but the bagel seasoning on the scrambled eggs when they're done too. I have a few more things left to do for work, but I decided to take it to the roof and finish it here because it is so beautiful. I started my day out and about with my sunrise shoot at the Lincoln, and we're finishing it here with these amazing, amazing views. Happy Wednesday. It is 70 degrees outside, so my friend Bree and I just wrapped up our work, and we're about to walk over to a rooftop tiki bar to enjoy the weather. I'm wearing an almost midriff shirt, basically no sleeves, throwing this little jacket over top, no coat. Notice there's no coat in this outfit, and the jacket isn't even really on, so doesn't even count. And we're gonna walk over from my apartment to this tiki bar now and I'm pumped. A little happy hour with my girlfriend on this beautiful day. We have to spend time outside. I'm hoping that's the theme of this vlog. Happy Thursday. It is a beautiful day, another 70-degree day here in Washington, D.C. So as you saw, we did not end up going to a tiki bar last night. The Tiki TNT restaurant, that's what it's called, was much more full than I was told it would be on the phone. So we didn't get to go. We walked up and down the wharf, which is the area that we were in yesterday, and ended up going to this restaurant for drinks called Moon Rabbit. Sorry, I've been walking. Ember and I are on our walk to the Capitol since it's such a beautiful day. So we went to this restaurant for cocktails called Moon Rabbit. I had never really noticed it before, but it was stunning. It looked really new. It's so bougie that we just got cocktails at this restaurant and they were amazing. The best mojito I've ever had, and I've had a lot of mojitos. They apparently put some kind of homemade syrup in the mojito or whatever, but it was fantastic. And then we walked next door to Shake Shack for dinner because that's the kind of classy broads we are. But it was really fun. The wharf is just full of great options, but if it is nice weather outside, make sure you make a reservation because everyone's gonna go to the wharf to enjoy a beautiful DC day. Emby, look at me. Excuse me, we're in the middle of the road. Thank you. This is honestly really hitting the spot. This is really good. That was a chef's kiss. I'm documenting this, yes, for the vlog, but also for me to remember when it's like 50 degrees next week that this is possible. This is a thing. Happy Friday. I had an appointment here on Capitol Hill and I was just gonna go to my appointment and then go home, but then I realized this is the last time I would have that appointment before I move. And so I was like, no, I have to do my routine, getting my favorite chai. So I went to Souk, which I feel like a broken record. I say this pretty much every week. I go to Souk and get a chai because it's the best chai I've ever had in all of DC. Highly recommend. And then I stumbled upon this cute little pet shop called Howl to the Chief. So cute. And because I'm probably want to take a cute picture of Ember before we leave, I got her a little Capitol Hill cookie and a little champagne bottle dog toy that's made out of the material that she really likes. So you can expect some cute dog DC content. In case anyone's wondering, this is the wall that is still up around the Capitol. So when they talk about on the news like the wall and all of the National Guard troops still in the city, this is what it is. I did something this Friday afternoon that is making me feel like a new woman. I literally feel like I'm floating on air, singing Disney songs like a Disney princess, like singing about what I'm doing like a Disney princess. And it's all because of what I did on this Friday afternoon. So I very intentionally worked ahead this week. Like I got everything that could possibly be done for like my Trades of Hope work done Monday through Thursday because I wanted to take Friday, especially the afternoon, to really reflect on what I want my brand to be like, my personal brand, social media brand, whatever. I ended up going a completely different route. And if you are interested about making money on Instagram, social media, if you have a brand that you want to grow, etc., this is seriously going to be a game changer for you. I'm not exaggerating. Like, look at the light in my eyes. I have felt so confused about my brand, about social media, basically for the last couple weeks, like just I'm not confident in it. And so what I decided to do was take a serious look at my analytics, and I can break down and tell you everything that I did exactly, because I know analytics isn't always fun, especially if you're a creator, if you're an entrepreneur, you love the ideas, you love the creating something, you love the connecting with the audience, but the data sometimes is not always the most energizing. But look at what it did for me. I am energized. I am so excited. So basically what I did was I looked at my top 10 liked posts, my top 10 shared posts, and my top 10 saved posts. And I wrote down what they were in this little notebook here, and it's gonna look complicated, but I swear it's not. I just went in and like color coded some things. All of these words are just like how I'm describing the post basically, so that I can like know what it is. There are like some posts that are in all three areas. And that is like what I know I need to focus on. And now I see that a certain kind of post, that's what gets all the likes. A certain kind of post, that's what gets all the saves. A certain kind of post, that's what gets all the shares. I feel like I have so much clarity now and I have so much direction. And then I just wrote like my thoughts on another page, just a recap of what I found, and then some action steps, like some takeaways, like things to do next. Sorry, I have like Ember's hair on my face. And then I compared like the content that people respond to and what they want and what they are loving and eating up, and then the kind of content I want to create and the kind of content that I want to be known for, and I've like found the sweet spot between all three of those areas. And I feel so confident about what kind of content to create. I feel so confident about making more money. I want that for you. Honestly, I know sometimes that social media, trying to sell on social media brands, whatever, it can be like you're just throwing spaghetti against the wall and trying to see what sticks. And that is tiring, it's exhausting, and it's quite frankly discouraging because it doesn't feel sustainable. You just feel rejected when your like strategies don't really go well. But I feel so revived. I feel so confident. I have a clear vision of what's next. I have a clear vision of where the money is. I have a clear vision of who I'm helping. I have a clear vision. I'm just excited. I'm really excited about it now. I want this feeling for everyone else so much that I went to Instagram and I was like, what if I created like a downloadable that has, it's basically a worksheet of everything that I did today, because there are a few things and a few questions I asked myself that I haven't shared just because it's like too much to just put in a video. Like I'd have to kind of like put the question down and then explain it and really walk you through it. And I want everyone to feel this way. And so on Instagram, I was like, would you be interested in a download of me basically turning what I did today into a little like workbook, like a few pages or whatever? And everyone was like, yes, please, so much. That would be incredible. And so I think I'm gonna work on that tonight, like while the excitement and the passion is fresh, while the ideas and my experience is fresh, so I can help you recreate it. If that's something that sounds interesting to you, please comment below. It's only going to encourage me to get that download up and going quicker, because honestly, everything I do is because you guys want it, if you guys want it. So if I don't know if you want it, it might lessen the urgency, but I believe in this so much because I know how the last couple weeks I haven't even wanted to be on social media because I just felt so directionless and I didn't want to waste my time. I don't like doing things that aren't sustainable, like not in a sustainable system. And now I feel like a Disney princess prancing around singing to the birds. Like that is how happy and carefree I feel now. Another thing that I told Instagram today that I want to make sure that I tell my YouTube family is that I am going to raise the prices of my mentor calls in April. So I want you to get the cheapest price possible. So if you've ever thought about having a mentor call with me, they're super like relaxed but full of info and advice. And these calls are you just bringing your questions, literally anything that you want. If you've ever wanted to pick my brain over a coffee or whatever, that is what these mentor calls are. And they will never be as inexpensive as they are right now. And I explained this on Instagram. Something is happening for me in my career this month in March that is going to raise the value of my mentor calls. And because I believe that every single woman deserves to be paid what she is worth, I believe that for you, I believe that for every woman around the world, I have to, in good conscience, raise my prices as well. If I want you to walk the walk, I have to walk the walk as well. But I also want every single woman who wants to have a mentor call with me be able to do so. And I want you to have the most inexpensive price possible. So if you've been thinking about possibly booking a mentor call with me, please book it in March. You don't have to put it on the calendar in March, but you just have to purchase it in March, and we can have it in April or May. Today, while I was in Capitol Hill and I found that adorable DC themed pet shop, I did get Ember a little Capitol Hill dog cookie. She's like looking at it right now outside of the frame. As most of you know, I am moving and leaving DC in, oh my gosh, like 3 weeks when this video is posted. In 3 weeks. I have a lot I have to do. So I got that for Ember. That'll be her little farewell dessert. And then I also got her this champagne bottle. It says Chateau Lulu's. Pup the Cork. It's very cute, very on brand. I try to find as cute dog toys as possible because I just don't want a bunch of ugly ones. And she really loves like this crackling sound. Oh, she's coming over. Come here. Do you want this? Come here. Up, 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 up. Do you want this? Oh my god. Do you want this? Yes, she's thirsty. She wants the champagne. Here, let me take the tags off. Let me take this off. Let me take this off. Here, do you want the champagne? Oh. That is the best. Yep, you're not sharing? Okay. Like mother, like daughter. I'm doing something very fun today, at least what I think is very fun, and I came to Hillwood Manor. And if you know me, you know I love going to grand estates. I love going to castles in the UK, and in the US I love going to manors and estates. And I've lived in DC for almost 4 years, but I just heard about this one a couple weeks ago. I'm very excited about it. Perfect this is. I love a European garden, and this is called the French Room, I think. Hi, little bunnies. I'm watching Outlander right now, which takes place in the 1700s, and that French garden is what a French 1700s garden would look like. So I'm like, am I in Outlander? Maybe. I just realized you can see the Washington Monument right there over the trees. How cool is that? I won't bore everyone who didn't ask for this, but this house belonged to Marjorie Merriweather Post, and she collected Russian art. I would have loved her life. I think we have very similar style. She lived in the 1900s, like the 50s, but she loved the 1700s French style, which is very much my style. So she and I would have gotten along very well. She was a savvy businesswoman. She helped develop a lot of general foods that we still use today. It's just an honor to be here at her house, and it's been honestly the perfect day. This estate is on the edge of Rock Creek Park in Washington, DC proper. I just can't believe I've driven past it so many times. It's just tucked away enough amongst all of the other mansions that people actually live in that don't have a ton of land, and I never knew, but I'm so glad I did. This is just like the perfect Saturday to myself. I'm in my element. I feel like I found a little slice of Europe here in DC proper, and I'm here for it. That was honestly so cool. This is my favorite way to spend a Saturday, and I know it's kind of nerdy, and I know it's kind of whatever, but it's also kind of trendy too. Did you see all that like Parisian art in there? Really beautiful, really inspirational. I realized today that I move from Washington, DC in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I should probably start thinking about packing and selling my stuff. I also realized that I am around the corner from my first neighborhood that I lived in when I moved here to DC in 2017. And I think I'm going to be really emotional and go see my first apartment building, walk around my first neighborhood a little bit, basically say goodbye to it, because I'm going to want to spend time with friends, and eventually my parents are going to come into town. They're going to come help me move. And so I want to not do these like emotional things that I would, rather do alone when people are wanting to spend time with me while in DC. So even though I have 3 more weeks, I think I'm going to go there just to say goodbye now. And then also it's like, you can't save all these things to the last minute, even though it feels like overkill to do it now. It's actually kind of right on time. So since I'm in the area, I'm going to go see my old apartment building, my old neighborhood, maybe go to my university, American University, where I got my master's degree. Just be present. It's Saturday, I'm here, the weather's pretty good. I might as well. here in Washington, D.C. I lived here from 2017 to 2018. Where I'm walking right now is where Ember and I would go out every single day. We would play in the snow on the sidewalk. We found bunnies here during springtime. So many good memories. I remember doing this walk like the first night Ember and I and my mom was with us, stayed here in this apartment, and I took her out here and we walked along the street, and I remember being so surprised that she wasn't scared of the cars driving by while we were on our walk, because obviously it's not as congested and busy where we came from. So I'm just so glad that she was comfortable here and how relieved I was. This building was honestly a dream. It is the most beautiful building I've ever lived in, and it was so perfect. It was everything that I wanted, I think emotionally, everything that I needed. I am doing my walk into the little part of town of my neighborhood, the little heart of my neighborhood where stores, shops, and restaurants are. I am heading right now to the Starbucks that I used to do my grad school homework at. I actually wrote a paper there and finished it and then lost all of it during one sitting. I remember stepping outside of this Starbucks, freaking out, trying to call like iCloud tech support or whatever, like seeing if they could retrieve my paper. It was a nightmare, but memories, great memories. This was my grocery store and where I discovered what a Safeway was. Got some more restaurants, a CVS down there, and then this diner. My dad and I eat there once at night. It was a little creepy, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is where I used to get my wine, because there was no wine in that Safeway. And then Bread and Chocolate was my favorite little cafe. Used to come here and sit on the terrace for brunch. So good. If you live near a Bread and Chocolate, go to one. I used to be a member at Balanced Athlete Fitness Studio. I did their yoga, Pilates, etc. I got myself a pink drink at Starbucks, which is kind of embarrassing because it feels a little juvenile. However, it is what I would have gotten in 2017 when I went to that Starbucks. So I felt like I had to be true to the season that I'm celebrating right now, and I did a little cheers to the view of the neighborhood and said goodbye. I walked back to my apartment building. There she is behind me. I'm like really struggling to like get in my car and go home. Like I feel like I'm tearing myself away from it, and I don't really know why, because I've barely been here the last 3 years. It's such a big part of my story, but I know I'll be back. Like someday when I'm married, I'll have to like bring my husband here and show him this apartment building, because it is a part of me and a part of my story. I'm just really trying to say goodbye so that in 3 weeks when I leave, I have no regrets. I think that one right there with the windows open, or the blinds, I think that was my apartment. It was either that one or the one above it, one of those two. It was a dream, honestly. I'm overwhelmed because I just can't help but think like, wow, my DC life has been so good from beginning to end. Like I'm really happy with this last year that I've had in DC, and then coming back to memory lane of my first year in DC, I feel so grateful. So grateful. It has all been so good. And that doesn't mean it was perfect by any means, but I'm thankful for every single minute of it. I'm so thankful that in hindsight, when I was a 22-year-old girl moving to Washington, D.C., I had this beautiful home in this beautiful neighborhood, and I was grateful in the moment. I've never taken any part of living in D.C. for almost the last 4 years for granted. It was still so much better than I even knew in the moment, if that makes sense. I will link some vlogs from my first year in DC and of living in Northwest DC in the description. I didn't vlog every week or anything like I do now, but there are some from this first year. I have a tour of my apartment in the building that you just saw. I have a little tour around the neighborhood, what my life is like in DC, the monuments and stuff like that. But while I was living in this area, I decided to not go to my grad school, American University, today. I actually want to go do that when my parents are in town in a couple of weeks, just because they're a big part of why I got there. And so I figured we would do that all together when they're here. perfect ending to the perfect Saturday. I got my favorite Thai food from Buzz Thai Eatery. It's technically in Arlington. It's so good. If you are a regular watcher of my vlogs, you know that one of my favorite meals is from an Asian fusion restaurant called Copycat Co. on 8th Street. Sorry, I have like my blanket molting onto me. But I don't consider that Thai food. This is my favorite Thai food. The best. Thai Eatery in Arlington, Virginia. So good. I get the drunk noodles, chicken sauté, some, little container of rice. It's so good. Perfect way to end this Saturday. Hello, happy Sunday. I have spent the day cleaning, just getting ready for the week. I'm drinking some tea right now because it's in the afternoon. I have a little house update for you. My mom lives about 15 minutes away from the house that I just bought, so she went there and took some pictures and sent them to me. I'm really excited because now we have kitchen cabinets. And this is why I'm so excited about the cabinets. They don't put in wood floors until after the cabinets. I'm not gonna lie, the herringbone wood floors are the thing I was and still am the most excited about, but I didn't have a ton of options as far as wood colors to choose from, and so I picked the one after a lot of thought and consideration, after getting a lot of other people's opinions, looking at the photos 500 times, trying to find as many photos as possible. I know I picked the best one. I'm just hoping the best one is one I'm gonna love. I'm really eager for them to be put in because I have to love it because I bought it, and that's the flooring that's going to be throughout most of the house. So I have to love it, but I'm looking forward to seeing if I actually love it. Now that the cabinets are in, that's the next step, is getting the wood floors in. I'm gonna link in the description my YouTube video all about my house, why I bought this house, where I bought this house. You can see the house, but again, this video was made before I even had walls, and I've just been giving little updates along the way. There's also a highlight on my Instagram profile called House, and you can check out all of the details there. Speaking of moving, I actually started packing today. I think when I realized that I'm 3 weeks away from moving from DC into my new house, I don't want to say I was stressed, but it just got very real. I don't want to save packing and stuff like that to the last minute. I want to be able to see like, okay, I need to order some more boxes, or okay, maybe I need a bigger moving vehicle than I thought I did. And I also want to spend time with my friends and my parents when they come help me move. So I just don't want it to all be rushed to the last minute. And honestly, 3 weeks is not that long. So I started putting stuff on Facebook Marketplace to sell some things, and I packed 2 boxes today. Let me show you. Boom. They actually look a lot bigger than well, I guess they are kind of big. 2 boxes. They're just stuff in like I took stuff from like that bottom drawer and then my cabinet in there and put it in there. I think it's like those last minute cabinets that I don't look in every day that I'm worried about forgetting and not packing. But then it's also things that I know I'm not going to need for a while because they're not drawers that I go into all the time. And then I brought the rest of my boxes and packing stuff out of my hall closet and into this one, so it's a little more accessible because we are packing. I'm trying to keep my home, especially like my living room area, like as cute as possible, livable as possible, until pretty much like days before. Thankfully, I have that closet that I can put boxes in, and my hallway is huge. My hallway to my front door is huge, so I know I can put lots of boxes along that wall and stuff like that and still have my cute living space. All right, friends, Ember and I are going to end the vlog right here. That looked really mean, but she's really nice, I promise. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you liked this vlog, only if you liked this vlog, please like, comment, or subscribe. I love hearing what you liked because it really does influence what I film for these vlogs. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see you next week here. Bye.